less humanitarian, less safe, less American. And when it comes to making us less safe, people forget this. That's why so many of our military, intelligence, security, and law enforcement leaders are opposed to this order and all those like it. The order hurts our alliances overseas. We lose allies. It hurts our soldiers overseas as they lose intelligence sources and allies to fight with. And here in America, these orders hurt our domestic security by increasing the small number who would resort to terrorism at home. This order makes lone wolves more likely, not less. So we are joined today to say to the President, no more orders to turn America away from what it has always been. We are demanding the President reverse these executive orders that go against everything we are, everything America has always stood for. I have communicated that position to the administration. I have talked to General Kelly, Secretary of Homeland Security, twice, told him how opposed I was and so many others were to these orders, and asked him to persuade the President to change his mind. He also did, I spoke to him this morning, and one little bit of small good news amidst all of this is that there are now 42 Americans at our airports that are detained that fit under the court order that the judge issued last night. There was a great deal of worry that they would be sent back, that the order wouldn't be obeyed. Secretary Kelly assured me the order will be obeyed, and those 42 will be processed and then allowed to come to America. So that is some bit of good news. He also told me last night that this order would not affect green card, those who held green cards, millions of people. This morning, Reince Priebus didn't say that on TV. And so we need clarification. But it shows you, above the bad nature, the horrible nature of these, the incompetence of this administration. One hand doesn't know what the other is doing. Most of the departments in charge of enforcing it didn't even know about it. They didn't even check with the Justice Department to check on whether these orders are constitutional. I believe they are not. And judges in every corner of the land have already issued temporary restraining orders against them. There was no thought, no preparation, no coordination in this administration as they did this. It would be bad even if they were coordinated. But it shows you just, in addition to the ineffectiveness and incompetence of the administration, in addition to the nature of moving us far away from what America has always been about, which is what bothers me the most, other than the beauty of these people. So let me just tell you about the families we have here who will say a few words in a minute. On my right is Mohammed Hamid. He's an Iraqi refugee. He arrived as a refugee on January 5th, 6 weeks ago, with his wife and 2 small children. Why did Hamid have to come here? Because he helped our American soldiers translate. And he and his family have gotten death threats because they cooperated with our American soldiers. What kind of country, what kind of administration would tell him he has to stay there and maybe face death because he helped our soldiers? He began the refugee process 2 years ago. If Donald Trump had initiated his guidelines 6 weeks ago, he'd still be in Iraq with his life and the life of his family threatened. Now let me tell you about the Kurahakish family, Rania Elias and Wael Kurahakish, and their 4 children, Maya, 16, Hamza, 14. He just turned 14 yesterday, he told me. Hazam, 8. And Yara, 6. They arrived here about a month ago. Their parents, in-laws, are American citizens. Mr. Elias, Azam Elias, and his wife Carolyn live in the Bronx, in the Pelham Bay Park section. He started out as a tailor, as many immigrants do. We're very short of skilled tailors here in America, and we've relied on immigrants to do that. And now he reupholsters boats. He spends a lot of time on City Island. His wife is an educator. They wanted their children and grandchildren here. Suicide bombs blew up in front of their house in Damascus. So that's who they are, filled with promise and the American dream. Donald Trump seems to want us to believe that immigrants are either terrorists or criminals. But here, these people are who they are. Look at these faces. Are they any kind of threat to America? No, they're the promise of America. So, we are here today. Oh yes, I just wanted to, this is also scriptural, and we have the support of so many of the religious leaders of every different faith throughout the country. Exodus 22:20. It admonishes us not to wrong or oppress a stranger, for you were strangers in the land of Egypt. Matthew 25, in the New Testament. I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. I was a stranger, and you invited me in. And I'm reminded of Pope Francis, who asked us in terms crystal clear to, quote, confront the reality of those who have been displaced by force with effective projects and new approaches in order to protect their dignity, improve their quality of life, this is the Pope speaking, and face the challenges that are emerging from modern forms of persecution, oppression, and slavery. So, Mr. President, I'm here to tell you, we will fight this. Many of you may know this. My middle name is Ellis. I was named after Uncle Ellis, who was named after Ellis Island. So this fight's in my bones. It's on my birth certificate. And I named my daughter, her middle name is Emma, named for Emma Lazarus, the great poet who wrote those lines on the pedestal of the Statue of Liberty. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. Won't breathe the rest. So, this executive order was mean-spirited and un-American. It was implemented in a way that created chaos and confusion across the country, and it will only serve to embolden and inspire those around the globe who will do us harm. It must be reversed immediately. Senate Democrats are going to introduce legislation to overturn this and move it as quickly as we can. And I, as your senator from New York, will claw, scrap, and fight with every fiber of my being until these orders are overturned. Thank you. I'm now going to turn it over to Mohammed, who is going to say a few words. Please.
Hello, everybody. Good morning. I'm Mohammed Hamid from Iraq. I used to be an interpreter for the U.S. Army when they were in Iraq for 10 years straight, starting from 2003 until 2013. And during that period of time, actually, my life, my family life as well, we were in a real threat, actually, risk. been threatened so many times, and actually, well, I would say that we were on the brink to be killed, and we got threatened so many times by those terrorists, and they were trying to track us down or trying to find out our places or our houses to just come over to kill us. And I mean,